Good morning, Britain. Breaking news this morning. Police in Wales searching for 5 people who went missing after a night out say they have found 3 bodies. They died.
Big, heavy door, and it just... Two stitches on the top.
But we're not calling Rishi Sunak. It is being conducted by Harriet Hart.
Do you think that Sir Keir Starmer misstepped Sue Gray as his chief of staff? Harman as the chair.
Who's already made her mind up. And hang on.
Remarkable that there was this option to change 2 weeks isolation to 5 days of test done. I had a student, a son who was a student at university at that time. They were constantly going into isolation for 2 weeks.
And we were...
Somebody's suggesting we should play fast and loose with the rules and risk the virus spreading out of control. But if, according to the chief medical officer, this policy in that fact, a month later, in January 2021, the government released, do you remember the advertising introduced?
There's one who's got 2 cats.
Been asked to exterminate our pets,
I know.
and then found out that they'd carried on. Actually, in this story, the chief medical officer, after 6 months, had said, I think it's all right if we scrap the isolation and put in 5 days of testing.
And it's not just about...
Because Rishi Sunak, in his 5-point plan to rescue the Conservative Party or have
rescue the country
tomorrow, that anyone arriving in the UK on a small boat will be prevented from claiming the peril of making those crossings is desperate. But this will be a popular plan, do you think?
Hugely popular.
It's a live therapy session.
It was.
I mean, we were just saying, and for Harry to see himself as someone who's destigmatising the discussion of mental health. But the trouble is that everybody's read the book and it has caused more. Harry and Meghan appearing at the coronation go down, do you think, with the family and with the public, the press? Because I think, we saw, for instance, from the Jeremy Clarkson, step in to protect members of the royal. We're not treated in the same way.
Well...
Good morning, Britain. It's just coming up to 2 minutes past 6. Welcome to the programme, but we start with some devastating breaking news this morning. In the last hour, detectives searching for 3 young women and 2 men reported missing after a night out in South Wales. Say that 3 of them have died in an apparent road accident. They'd last been seen in the early hours of Saturday morning.
Well, Katie Ricketts is the story.
4 minutes past 6. That's our main news this morning. Here's Ranveer with the rest of the day's stories.
Thanks, Randy.
Let's find out what's happening with the weather, Laura.
Well, all the blossoms out in our street.
Yes, horrible weather comes from the north. So I think that... Laura, thank you. We haven't yet, Richard Madeley, said welcome back.
Oh, yeah, hi.
You appear to...
And I was just fiddling around with something at the bottom of the car. I was outside the car, and I turned me on the tin, and I really bit my tongue. To the extent I needed an op, I had to have some stitches in it. So if I'd been on the programme, I would have been talking like that. I didn't actually get the sack, as one magazine reported. The reason that I wasn't here was because of this. But I'm not speaking like lamb.
Horrible.
It wasn't pleasant, actually, and eating and drinking on the side. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm asking, because there's something about tongues.
Yeah, it isn't. Let's not go into any more detail. You don't want to hear. But I'm fine now.
You're all right.
Yeah, I'm fine now. Yeah.
And you sound absolutely my favourites, by the way, in case anyone complains. 6:26 still to come on Good Morning Britain. He made his to 7 o'clock, but in just a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about Prince Harry and Meghan. Confirmed they...
Booed the last time they came here, and they've said a lot more about the royal family since then. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. Plus, he lives in a 17...
Cuthbert.
Yeah, Cuthbert, yeah, but I'm all right now.
That's horrible.
It wasn't pleasant, actually.